Welcome back, everybody, to the Starladder America Season 11 playoffs. I'm GoDz, joined by KOTLguy, and we've got more playoffs action, this time in the lower bracket.
Yep, we're in the lower bracket, and it's going to be a nice little grudge rematch here. Leviathan taking on Root Gaming. They just previously met in the tiebreaker situation, a four-way tie in the group stages, where it was Leviathan who came out from the winner's bracket. And Root Gaming, who lost in that series 2-1 to Leviathan, were shoved down, but still fought their way into the playoffs as well. And, well, look where we've got. Both Leviathan and Root Gaming were both knocked out of their initial series, and now they're facing each other. Loser goes home, winner moves on.
Yeah, a bit more at stake this time. The previous one was like, you secure your playoff spot, but even if you lost, you drop down to that tiebreaker lower bracket. This time around, no messing around. You lose this, you're out of the playoffs, you're out of contention. And considering there's no EG in this America playoffs, this is a real shot for any of these four teams to actually make it to Kiev, to make it to a big LAN finals, get some exposure, get some recognition, and, well, be unfortunately for one of these two teams who will be going home today.
Yeah, there's always been that discrepancy that EG is just kind of on a whole other level as far as the America division, and all these other teams are just trying to establish themselves to be a strong Tier 2 team. And without EG being involved, this is their best shot to kind of make their way all the way to the Starladder land and really make a name for themselves. So we'll see if we get it here. Draft now underway for game number 1. No surprises. That early ban on Omni Knight going to be coming out from Leviathan. But unfortunately, on the other side, Root Gaming also, who have always done their research and just know Leviathan so well, this time they get rid of the Pudge. It was funny because in their series during tiebreakers, Root Gaming let the Pudge go for the first 2 games. But then at the second game, when they really got beaten hard by the off-lane Jenkins Pudge, they're like, okay, no more. So they get rid of that, and they have to get rid of Shivy's Brew. Shivy's Brew is really on another level. I just looked it up. He's got 15 matches. He's got a nice 10-5 record. Easily the hero he's played the most, but, you know, obviously another reason why they're going to just keep banning it out.
All right, so we'll see where Leviathan's go instead. The Void opening pick with the Scarlet, some good synergy there. So far, earlier today, we saw the Void. It was the Jenkins offlane Void, so maybe more leaning towards the offlane Void, but they get the Doom as well, which also typically goes to the offlane. So makes me think one of these will be safe lane farming, and the Void kind of the more, I guess, stable as far as carries go, and who you'd want to see in the safe lane. For Root, Titan, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Shredder has been known to run Faceless Void himself.
Okay.
He's got a couple of games under. It looks like 6 games. He's 4-2, so I guess a positive record on that front. So they can change things up a bit if they do want to decide to roll with that Doom in the off-lane position and have Jenkins roll with that. But Faceless Void Skywrath Mage, is this TI4 all over again? Now, there was nerfs and adjustments to Faceless Void once again as far as the cooldown spread of your Chronosphere, especially into the later game. I believe Level 2 and Level 3 have an added +5 and +10 seconds. So you're not going to have your chrono as few and, you know, it's going to be more far between. And also, of course, there's that nerf on Refresher Orb, which could have an impact towards someone like Faceless Void.
Yeah. So Abaddon, the hero of choice for Root Gaming. This hero received a very small buff, I'd say. I'd say fairly insignificant. The 1 extra second on borrowed time is nice and all. It means when they're trying to wait out your ultimate to kill you after it wears off, they have to wait that 1 second longer, which maybe every now and then will come into play. But I think in general, it doesn't really change when you want to draft this hero. It's not going to mean. It doesn't mean like, okay, we want to draft more Abaddon now. It just means when it is drafted, when it fits the right draft, because this has always been a niche pick in general to counter stuns, to counter silences with the Aphotic Shield, or to have these 5-man deathball pushes. It's just going to be that little bit stronger when you do draft it.
I agree with that. And now we're going to see the Wisp come out. Leviathan pulled it out earlier. Nushim was the Wisp holder there. And, of course, they're also going to be doing that ban on the Witch Doctor because they feel the cast works so nicely between the two. For Root Gaming, at first glance, it looks like they've pretty much already established their support staff, having Elder and Abaddon and even Tidehunter. I mean, really, one of the two between, you know, Elder and Tide need to take the off lane. Unless they really change things up, I don't think they can really offer a lot to counter back the Wisp. I mean, if they hadn't settled on that already, I'd say that an AA could have worked very nicely here with the setup of the Chrono on the other side, plus denying Wisp and all that heavy sustain he can bring. It would have been a good grab. But they're going to move on forward here. Root Gaming going ahead and picking up the Storm Spirit, and I think they're going to be very happy about that. It looks like precious little Sumail is going to get one of his best heroes, if not his best hero as it is. Storm, 4 games, 3-1. He put on a clinic yesterday with this hero, and we're going to look for the same performance here.
Okay, so a lot of good scouting potential and kind of setup potential from an Elder Titan, even a support one. So I like running the Elder Titan support with the Storm Spirit, but Leviathans can look to shut down the Storm mid lane with a Wisp dual lane. The Tiny's still in the pool. They banned the PA themselves, which wouldn't have been a bad hero to synergize with the Wisp, but I guess they'd already decided that wasn't going to be the route they want to take.
I'm going to see a Razor here. I don't know. If Leviathan, I see if they don't get a hold of their precious Shibby Brew or Storm, Razor, Viper seem to see the next couple of options that Shibby likes to go for himself. And after the Storm has already been snagged up from Root, Razor can work, I suppose. Great siege, great lane dominance. He can also offer a lot from the outside of a Chronosphere, so it's not certainly terrible, but it's not going to be that. You got Tiny here now, going to be grabbed up, so the Wisp-Tony combo going to be happening here for Leviathan. We don't see this combo happen a whole lot on the NA scene. We don't even see a whole lot of Wisp in general, so I guess this is a nice breath of fresh air.
Yeah, not bad. They definitely needed something that could clear out big neutral stacks, because that's kind of one of Wisp's specialties. He can do that, like that easy double stack over on the Dire side especially, and none of these other heroes could really clear stacks, so the Tiny, the obvious choice to synergize with the Wisp, but if it wasn't the Tiny, they needed something like your Shadow Fiend, your Storm, which was taken by Root, to clear stacks out. So, last pick now. Root Gaming need a safe lane farmer. They need UR's hero. We've seen him mostly on these kind of big carries, the anti-mage, the Morphling, these big split pushes.
Still there and available on the Morphling. Dusa also still in the pool at the ready. He'd also had gone for PA, but no, he is going to instead grab a hold of the Razor here. So he had not played it as of yet, at least in recent competitive games. So this is going to be his Razor debut, as he has already settled onto the hero, and I imagine Shibby has also not played Tiny in recent history. So for a series that's so important, it looks like both teams are going to be trying out something new here. And if you didn't notice already, maybe not if there's that overlay up. I'm not too sure if you had it there. But Root Gaming have a slightly different roster, even a little more different than we saw earlier today. It looks like Chicken MC is going to be unable to participate here in this losers series. And he's going to have Joik back again. And they still will have Sumail, they still will have Trouf, and they still will have Yawar. So we'll see how they can make do with this roster set.
Yep. It looks like Trouf is going to be, once again, as we saw in that very final game, playing that offlane role. So it seems like maybe a new position for him in this Root Gaming team, at least for the time being. He has been playing on another team called GoDz, I believe it was. And
yeah, that's what people are saying. That's why they kept bringing up the icon at first. GoDz has been a crew that Trouf has been rolling with, I guess even along with possibly Yawar and Sumail. So I'm not too sure, where that's going to end up developing, but it's an interesting team to look out for.
It's the American team. You can play on 2-3 teams at once if you want to. you make commitments. What is this?
Like, as long as they're both participating in the tournament, why not? Anything is fair game. So lots of refugees on the NA scene that can hop in out as a stand-in game action here. We'll go ahead and lead things off. Game number 1 for Starladder Season 11. We got over $120,000 of cash prizes up for grabs. Top lane, Leviathan. On your Dire side, it's going to be Shredder playing that safe lane Faceless Void. Over nearby in the jungle, we got Sunken, who's going to be playing your Skywrath Mage. Mid lane, none other than Shibby. He's going to be repping the Tony, or the Tiny, side by side with Nushim, who's going to be playing his Wisp Comrade. And in your off lane, it's going to be Jenkins playing the Doom.
Well, for the Radiant side, it's going to be Team Root Gaming. We've got Yuar playing the safe lane farming Razor. Your boy JC on the Elder Titan. Both him and Yuar are boots first. Yuar, I think, accidentally draws Roshan aggro. He wanted to hide in the Roshan pit and accidentally brought the big bruiser out to battle as Doom's looking to contest this room, but we'll quickly see 3 heroes. The third being Joik on the Abaddon. In the top lane, it will be Trouf doing a lot of damage to Sunken Skywrath Mage. Unwilling to level anything or throw any nukes in. Trouf gets a bounty rune, so both runes going the way of Root. Finally, Sumail, mid lane Storm Spirit.
That is big runes too, mind you. They were buffed up at the start of the game, so at your 0 second mark, 2 bounty runes of 100 XP, 100 gold. That gets you halfway to level 2, and a nice chunk of change. So Sumail, who is a very, very formidable Storm Spirit player, he's going to have his hands full here in a mid lane matchup between Tony and Wisp. So not as a easy dominant lane as you would expect here for your Storm, but he's going to try his best to try to hold it out.
Yeah. So Wisp hasn't done any tree chopping to help out with that double pull, but he can always just tango on through. Right now, Trouf still duking out with Sunken, who now has leveled up the Arcane Bolt. One of the things with the Scarab support that's even stronger is this new Clarity giving you an extra 20 mana as well, so just gives you that little bit of extra juice. Unless Trouf can actually cancel the Clarity, which so far no luck doing so.
Mind you, Skywrath Mage did receive that slight agility nerf. He is now one of the few in the negative armor club at the start of the game. Right now it looks like he's sporting 0, but I believe it's like 0.36 or something, or negative 0.36 or something. So the boy was squishy before. Now he's just pretty much a flying piece of glass.
Well, so far hasn't hurt him too much, although it did actually hit with that level 1 battle over the rune where you can't get out much. But Jenkins has gone back to his own jungle, picked up a Satyr to get him half a level, and also a Shockwave, a bit of HP regen, but he's just going to get constantly zoned out. The big briefcase wielding Elder Titan is just going to keep on pummeling him whenever he comes near this lane. So this is not going to be a fun Doom game for Jenkins.
I'm really interested to see War and you know what we've come to know from his play style. He's currently whipping Jenkins to get the hell back out of his lane, but he's been one to know to really just sit there and farm it on up until he gets 2-3 items, maybe even 4 items online, and then engage in some fights. But this is a Razor he's playing now, so I'm curious if that's going to change his play style at all.
Yeah, it's definitely, especially when you're pairing it with the Abaddon, it definitely suggests they want to be a bit more aggressive early on with some of their fight choices, try and pressure some towers a bit more, though they don't have clear tower push potential with any of their heroes. It's more going to be about like taking these engagements when they can. Storm, when he gets his ultimate coming into play, you can go for those big dives with the backup of the Abaddon. The Elder Titan also a good long-range defensive support because you can provide that cover kind of crowd control with the Stomp as well. So definitely a lot of potential to be aggressive, and I think they've got pretty good heroes in general for dealing with Wiz Tiny. First blood! Oh no, I've missed it! It's top lane. They've gone diving in. They brought down the Trout from the Tidehunter.
Trout being a lot of damage all during the laning phase. Had to get more regen, but they're able to make the big jump in, and it's going to be first strike coming out from Leviathan's side. Mid lane Sumail, though, he's actually finding still really good CS here. 11-6 on his Storm Spirit, and also taking away a good amount of denies here.
Tiny's got 6 CS.
This is interesting.
Crushing.
Maybe a bit out of practice with your Tony Wisp mid lane game.
Yep.
Sumail is happy to benefit from that, though.
Yeah, you said it. It's not something they run ever, really. It's the first time you said recently Shivy's played the Tiny, and it kind of shows here. They're not really putting any pressure on the Storm Spirit. They haven't been stacking as well because Doom fell back to the jungle, so no stacks, losing mid lane, 2v1.
That's scary.
Problematic.
Yeah.
They got first blood, though.
Yeah. But you don't want to be sharing the jungle as well. I mean, Jenkins needs this jungle, though, to pull back from the off lane to at least get some reliable income coming his way, because he really can't get anything done in his off lane, but now you're taking away a reliable farm in case you have a bad laning experience as Wisp and Tony. So with that, he can't just fall back and soak up some sweet stacks. Nushamrite is going to be there now to maybe at least get 1 stack on the smaller camp, but certainly they would love to have a lot more.
Yeah, this is not the start they imagined, but that's kind of what you get when you put someone like Doom in the offlane. Sometimes this hero has to just fall back and go pure jungle. So if you want to run something like a Wiz Tiny, generally you want to have a stronger offlaner who can just not have to fall back to the jungle. But hey, they are where they are, and we'll see. Jenkins just continue to jungle it up. He has got level 3, not getting as much out of as much as far as farm or levels goes compared to the Tide. And that's where Tide gives up a first blood, but he's kind of getting more overall anyways.
I don't know, it might be his bottle. Nusham's got a bottle in stash waiting. It looks like it's en route towards the mid lane.
Yeah.
Certainly would help out with him and his buddy Shivy, but ideally you'd love to be able to get a takedown here on Storm if possible, especially before he reaches his level 6. Right now he's so close, and it looks like they do want to try to take him down. They got Sunken looking to come in here from the north, who's got 2 levels into his Arcane Bolt with 1 on the concussive. But taking down this Storm Spirit is going to be a task in itself, as it looks like they're not going to go for it, and plus you got Joik nearby on his Abaddon. It looks like he will be able to survive, and we'll see if Sumail's going to look to go on his Storm Spirit tirade like he loves to do.
And Sumail has gone for an interesting skill build. No points in the Electric Vortex, and very unconventional, but you're up against this 1v2 lane, playing kind of defensively. I kind of like it. He will get jumped on. Has the Abaddon backup, though. This is not something Shivy's ready for. Sumail also hits level 6.
Got him.
Oh, doesn't get the zip out, though. In the end, it is a win for Leviathans, I'd say, killing the Storm Spirit there, even though they paid for it with the Tiny, but just barely. Like, that's... Yeah. They were hoping that they'd keep Storm alive.
Plus, both teams have rotation help, so it's about an equal as far as map movement. All the meanwhile, your Midas, 5 minutes and 30 seconds going to be complete there for your Razor. War is getting a lot of nice farm, and he's stacking, and working with stacks in the jungle. That's working very nicely for them. And on the exchange, I guess on the opposite end of things, Shredder in the top lane on his Faceless Void. He's going down the road of picking up an early Mask of Madness, if you see.
Yeah, he's ultimately got matching up with the Razor's farm, actually ahead of the Razor. So it's just a couple CS here or there, and Shredder will be able to get involved much earlier. And I'm kind of curious why they pick a Razor when they're going for this greedy Midas game. I guess maybe the plan wasn't necessarily to do this right from the get-go, but he's like, well, I got all this free farm, I can get a 5-minute Midas, I may as well.
Yeah.
But I feel like if this was something like a Slark, maybe, you'd be getting a lot more out of the safe lane farm. Even like the Morphling we saw earlier on today for Yawab, but oh well.
He likes his farm and Razor. See where he likes to take it from there. Agnum's Refresher seems to be a party. See if it's something he likes to go for, but or maybe that more standard cookie cutter, maybe get a mech or something along the way. We'll have to find out. Sumail makes his return back to the mid lane. He's currently 33 and 10 CS, matched up to Tiny 15 and 8, so he still has a nice commanding lead as far as the farm goes in this mid lane. They traded those kills previously, and it looks like both of them are constantly going to have some babysit action here. Doik is always going to be nearby just in case something like this happens. When they move forward with that stun, Sumail's going to get quickly aided about, and he doesn't even step back once. He was happy to kind of go into an engagement, but this looks like a bit of a footsie.
Yeah, and the Wisp will keep the Tiny alive, the Abaddon will keep the Storm alive, and these are kind of the two heroes on the front line. So unless Storm wants to make a jump past the Tiny and try go on the Wisp, I don't think we see kills, unless there's a third hero rotation, which is actually quite possible. We've seen Tide come near the mid lane, especially at level 6 Tide. Could look to turn things around, or we see the Void even make a rotation with a Chronosphere.
Yeah, you could just as easy TP mid lane, jump in Chrono, and they could have their own setup, but we'll see if that's going to be the case. Now not having Abaddon as he's made his own rotation towards this top lane. Trouf here, not level 6 yet. He's going to get caught up with a Chronosphere, however, and Sunken from the outside, dishing out the nuke damage is going to be more than enough to take down Trouf. He falls again, now rotation. Sumail gets in on the action. Was silenced, but the shield's going to quickly take it off, and with no Chrono to stop him, he is just going to keep pushing on forward, but a very nice wand is going to save Sunken, and now they're considering a turn back. Sumail has no more mana, no more blue bar, and he has to waltz away, but can he? If he gets hit with a big bash, he could go down. Silence is there, and another nuke to fly out. Time walk forward. Oh, there's the bash. Sumail could be in trouble, and the Wisp comes in and helps out and gets a double. Nusham from the mid lane shows up just in time, and man, oh man, that is not what Root wanted to happen.
I mean, you talked about this kid at the start of the day, 15-year-old, and, well, that was definitely not the decision-making of an experienced veteran. Chase kept on chasing the Skyreth there. He would have got the kill, except Skyreth had like 8 stick charges saved up, so he doesn't get the kill, and then he's used up all his mana to chase. It was a big, big mistake. Skyreth turns around with a conch shot. Easy pickings for the Void then from there, even without the Wisp coming in. Void could have even turned sooner. I think he just got to... He didn't maybe check the mana of the Storm or the Abaddon. Abaddon also ran out of mana, but end of the day, big win for Leviathans. They're up 5 kills to 1. Mask of Madness now in line for the Void, and he can go a lot of lanes here to get some kills. Although Razor already gets the T1 tower. It's a relocate in. They want your Y here. The Void led things off, and it looks like that's a dead Razor.
Yeah, he has nowhere to go. He gets brought down, and Wisp grabs another. So very farmed up energy ball right here, and he benefits a lot from that. Back to the mid lane here. Are they going to go for a jump? They are. Ralph jumps in. They take down that Wisp. They get that small bit of bounty, and they want more here. They want Shibby. Going on in, Sumail is going to get over-aggressive again, though. Sunken this time? Do you got the charges? You certainly don't. Double kill now as Sumail fires right back. Root Gaming not going to allow Leviathan to have too easy of a start. They fire right back, getting a tower on bottom, and now a team fight here in the mid lane. Only really losing the Razor.
Yeah.
Works out
pretty good.
Pretty good.
They got the 2 supports, which wasn't the ideal target. They killed the Tiny, would have been even better, but killing supports even at this point in the game is nice from it. Gets them, more than anything, they just need the gold, the levels, which does go their way.
Oh boy, nearby, Trout farming up the jungle. Shredder just
didn't
walks
see him,
by.
I guess.
Oh, that could have been an easy kill. He's got Chrono and Mask of Madness to work with, but he's got eyes near the rune spot. It's going to be a bounty there. And if he happens to venture again in the neighborhood, he could cross paths with a certain
so low.
Tide Hunter. Oh, he's just so... Uh-oh, instead he's going to see your boy JC. He's not going to go with the solo grab right here.
Okay.
Maybe worried that Abaddon is nearby and could provide a little bit of assistance, and he would need more help. Or maybe they were waiting out for the relocate, which has 3 more seconds. We'll have to see.
Yeah. It seems like they want to maybe make a play on this mid-tier 1 tower, which is, hey, if you want to go for the mid-tier 1 tower, you're better off holding the Chronosphere to scare off Root from defending and just have that big kind of AoE teamfight potential of a Chronosphere rather than get a solo pick-up. Stomp's going to look to stall things, just catches out Shredder. Looks like Leviathan's going to just keep up the pressure right now after getting off to a pretty decent start.
Elder Time, what a hero. Send a free spirit right in there and just put off a sleep without anyone contesting. And all that extra
unlimited spam as well with the Soul Ring.
Oh, here we you go, though. They're actually toying with the idea of going
Razor
behind
TP's
the
in.
tower here. Looks like Root Gaming might not want to hand this over too easy. They have the glyph ready. And Leviathan, I don't think they like this situation, so they pull back.
Doom's on 2.2k gold, which suggests a blink rush. I think he should just get a Midas, because this is... you're just... Doom farms. Like, he farms like none other. I feel like you go for the Midas and you get the blink 3-4 minutes later. So I feel like skipping the Midas isn't the best idea, but he's going to go blink straight up. Just means they can... It really means they want to take fights now and take objectives right now. And if you go for the Midas, you have to wait another 3 or 4 minutes. So they decide root or weak right now. If we have a Blink Doom, we can take Tide out of the picture, prevent any sort of Ravage counter-initiation, and we can take any objective we want.
Maybe just take anyone out they want with a Blink and Doom. Stormsphere would have a lot of trouble with that. You said Trouf.
Yeah.
Batten at this point could prove to be troublesome. And even Yawar, who's built up some nice farm. On the back of that Midas, looks like he's going to go right for the drums thereafter, and about 800 gold. Continues to farm out this mid lane. We'll have to see. Jumping in, though, top lane. Can't quite get a hold of that Elder Titan. Is Shredder. Would have loved to have been able to get a quick support snag right there, but not going to be so lucky. He's instead pressing on this tier 1 in the top lane down to a 3rd life. And Leviathan would love to get that gold.
Yeah, Root just being so much more efficient. I feel like Leviathan's spending too much time grouped up as 5. Doom not going for the greedier build in the Midas. This is just making them fall behind in farm. Tiny didn't have a good start, so he's been playing catch-up mode for a while, which is fine, but I feel if they just played a more efficient farm-based game right now, they'd be in a really strong position, but they haven't been stacking, they haven't been going Midas and Doom, they haven't even been... But at the same time, if they want to play this style, they need to be getting kills, which they haven't done just yet.
Uh-oh, they're going to cross paths right near the secret shop on the side of Root Gaming. They're going to catch out your boy JC, and he gets obliterated. And that's pretty much all Leviathan are going to want for now. But here comes Trouf, cuts him off at the pass with a nice Ravage, and Shredder will go down immediately with the jump in coming up from Sumail. And now they want Sunken, blitzing on forward. Sumail able to take him down and picks himself a nice couple of kills. A killing spree for him. On the other side now, a quick blink out as it looks like Jenkins. And if he had a Midas there, GoDz, he would have been in trouble. Uh-oh. I say that, he's not scot-free. Jumping in Sumail, grabs him with a Vortex, and that's a double. After a overzealous top lane, Sumail just jumps back and grabs nice 3 kills for himself.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Bit of damage being applied to this bottom tier 1 tower, but they get caught by an Echo Stomp. No follow-up TPs, but again, Elder Titan just stalling and preventing any sort of push or pressure on any of these lanes. He's still lurking around in these trees. Doesn't he be a bit careful? Looks like Shibi wants to go hunting, and JC is going to hide for dear life as Tide will blink in and, well, give him some cover fire.
Obviously no Ravage. Sumail's TP was on cooldown. They know that, so they feel a little bit confident, but just one rotation is all it takes for them to kind of step back. But look at this. I like that. The smoke back coming out from Leviathan now. They know Jenkins has that Doom ready. Blink Doom at that. Trouf walking away, already has no mana. If he gets any sort of glimpse, would make a quick jump in play. But man, Root Gaming, that game sense, they pull right on back.
This is where this blink really does not pay off.
Did they see them with this ward up here?
It may have spotted them.
They've been pretty close, so maybe they had the idea and just pull on back. So this is a lot of time wasted. Now they go over to the mid lane. There's your Blink Doom. You should have kept him your ward.
Sunken's dead! Oh, one more
he's so low. He's able to make it out.
Again.
Uh-oh, Sumail says so. Special delivery from Mr. Sumail. And see you later.
As he zipped too. That was sick.
What a player.
Long range zip while TPing. Oh my god.
Just that little boop. That boop. How you doing?
Yeah.
By the way, I'm already out.
If the zip didn't hit, he wasn't getting the kill because there was no. If he right clicks, he cancels his TP. So he had to hit it, and he did. That was impressive. I have not seen a Storm do something like that before. Like TP as they're going in for the finishing blow.
Very impressive stuff coming out from the young one, the Prodigy, on his favorite hero, I'd have to say. This is his 5th time playing that Storm Spirit. He already sports a nice 3-1 record in competitive play, and shows why some teams actually consider banning the Storm against him. So we'll see here as Tony Whisk begin to farm up the root side, touching base with them. You already got your drums here on Shibi, but no early components of that Agnum Scepter quite yet.
The net worth looks really bad for this Tiny. He's on 4.7k when you've got 7.4 on your Razor, 6,500 net worth on Storm. The Void's doing pretty well to make up for it, but this Tiny, you don't pick him to just be playing catch-up and playing from behind all game. Although he does still have that late-game threat, and you can still delay the game so well with that split push and just that threat of that relocate kind of backdoor style of play.
So we'll see here Leviathan hoping to take a moment to kind of itemize a bit further and be able to build up that farm, but that is something that they also like on the side of Root Gaming, specifically certainly Yawar. caught off in the mid lane as Razor is trying to recuperate a little bit here. He's got about 1,200 gold, and still question really what kind of path he wants to go down on this Razor as far as really what he wants to contribute to his team. As far as maybe just more siege power or maybe more utility. We'll find out.
Root just doing the small things right. Like, Trout just pokes his hand to Roshan, make sure they're not trying to go for like a 3-4-man smoke Roshan. And theoretically, like, you could do that with like a Void, Doom, plus like a Wisp or something. So just making sure they have all their bases covered, and we'll then fall back. We'll take some Ancients. I feel like every time I see Root farming their jungle, they've got big stacks. They've got heroes in 4 different locations farming. They're just so much more efficient. And Leviathans are just kind of not really as coordinated or on the same page as far as whether they want to gank or what. And they will get Sumail up bottom lane. Chronosphere,
no running from that
Flare, and good play there. Storm had to turn around for the ball lightning, so with the turn rate, couldn't get out of there.
The old classic. Chrono, Mystic Flare. Never gets old. Bottom lane, Leviathan now with that kill. Should be able to secure a tier 1 tower, so net worth they were starved from a bit. Certainly helps out. And for Root Gaming, as they have Yawars scavenging through the Leviathan side. I was seeing if they were going to converge here, but just a lot of back and forth pathing here from their side. Trout does have Ravage back up and at the ready, but he's so close to level 11, they might as well just wait that little extra bit to get it.
Trout's really solid this game. He's had lots of stacks to farm, I think partly thanks to the supports, but he's got a mech, Arcanes, and only 600-700 away from a blink. Mid lane though, Storm, jump in, Jenkins, you done for. Sumail, you can't even get Doom. Nice little just ball lightning use there, cancelling all the Doom cast times, and even if he gets the Doom off, he's still dying and he's not getting the kill. I guess maybe with a relocate he does.
Oh, top, they want the ball. Nushim, there's the stun, helps a bit, tether forward, avoids the sleep, and he gets away.
Oh, this is not a TP that Skyros is going to be too happy about.
Behind.
Yeah, about that one.
Hey, I see ya. War zaps him down and only takes 2 quick whips, and the Birdman drops, and now Root Gaming. Just focus on this tier 1 tower and let them take it down.
Shredder making the right move, just pressure the bottom lane, stay away. You've lost the fight, they've got a big 4-man unit with a Ravage. You take what you can, which is farm at the bottom lane, bit of damage to the T2 tower. I imagine Root will TP back before it gets into kind of, oh, you've lost our T2 tower for a tier 1, and that's a bad trade, but it's still a good position for Void to be in, although he does have to be worried about this Storm Orchid pickup. I'm not sure if Leviathans have spotted this just yet, but that's something where he's going to be thinking, I can't be as aggressive with my split push when there's an Orchid.
He's scouting out mid lane right now, but no one's going to be there. The majority of Leviathan converging on the top side of the map right now. Only a simple lingering Trout Tidehunter who might have to be careful here. He really needs to be careful. He has no blink. He's going to get scouted out. Uh-oh. Trying to run back the other way here. They thought about making a move, but they second-guess it, maybe anticipating that some more of the Root squad could be behind them. And he does have Ravage available. I think they're just playing it extra safe.
Well, 9 kills apiece here, but judging by the net worth, it's a Root Gaming lead, and 4,000 is the total net worth advantage their way. 4,000 experience as well, and I've got to say, for Leviathans, they had a good run in past summits as well as, I mean, this Starladder America, but seemed to have hit a bit of a roadblock here, at least in game 1. Teams seem to be almost like figuring them out a little bit. Like, they had a very distinctive playstyle. They ran some quirky heroes, like the Pudge specifically, but even some other kind of playstyle things that teams maybe weren't used to. But it seems that most of the American teams have adjusted. I mean, the Pudge ban is one thing, and it feels like Leviathans, their plan B just never is as strong as that.
And here we now have Leviathan with more ults up and at the ready. They feel confident to get a second go at this tier 1. It's already so dang low. We should be able to get it here, but there's your glyph going to be popped. Glyph it or ticket. And toss to finish it off. It does get it, but he also gets a big Ravage jump in. Sumail quickly obliterates the Wisp. Now puts his sight, takes out both supports himself. Now doomed up. He has nowhere else to go, but he's going to happily try to right-click down Shibby. Can't quite get him. Shibby runs with those drums, and now coming in from behind Shredder. Nice chrono. Drops right on Sumail's head. They finish him off and make it a 1 for 2. But still, both supports for the 1 Storm Spear is pretty good here for Leviathan after also getting that tower. I think it has to work out okay for Leviathan after that.
It looked like it was going to go really bad for Leviathans for a while, but they managed to just get the Storm in that Chronosphere, and before that, I was like, Storm, yeah, sure, he's doomed, but Abaddon just kept on miscoiling him again and again, healed him like 3 times, and I'm just like, I don't think that Storm's dying, and he wasn't until the Chronosphere finally came in at the end, so a bit of a concern for Leviathans if they can't actually kill him during the Doom. But that's where Doom is going to be rushing an Aghanim Scepter, and that can make a nice bit of difference there. Speaking of Acceptors, Razor's got his though, so you are going to have that big upgraded ultimate for the next big team fight.
Kid loves to farm on his Razor, currently a 2-2-2 record for him as he swags himself back into the fountain. Trout, who's opted to step off the path and pick up a mechanism along the way for his team. I would imagine now has the foresight to move into a refresher orb, getting that second bit of Ravage. Now it was nerfed, so the damage isn't quite as significant as the Ravage used to be, but still, it's 2 big AoE stuns, forcing your opponents to consider a BKB just to be able to really get in on the action. We'll see as Root return back towards this mid lane here. At the same time, look at this Leviathan dancing with Roche.
He changes his mind. He's like, yeah,
maybe it's not the
got
time.
Mask of Madness, you know, I can lifesteal, I can fight right. Oh, no, maybe not. Taking bonus damage, that ain't working.
He's so close to BKB. I'm sure Leviathan don't really want to take an engagement until Shredder has that item.
Yes.
Otherwise, Storm could still be a problem for him in Ravage.
Tiny close, only 400 from his Ag Scepter as well, so a couple nice little item pickups coming their way, whereas for Root, it's not like there's any big game changers, in my opinion, coming out. The Blink mech is already there for the Tide, Storms goes Orchid. Like, there's no big difference makers that you're like, okay, we're going to fight before this item gets picked up. The Yules on the Elder Titan's the only item probably coming up the next 2 to 3 minutes.
Another DD. This is the 3rd DD rune I've seen Sumail happen to come across here.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, he would love to have a regen instead, but he'll make do with this for now. Steps on back, and more separation of farm continues here. Top CS still belongs to Razor, with Void shortly behind, but net worth still belonging to Lamont.
And right now, Root, they've got this big Observe Ward down too over near the Roshan pin. This makes it really hard for Leviathans to move through the bottom lane to farm their Ancients. Definitely map control advantage goes Root's way because of that. And they've got this nice Observe Ward in the mid lane, although it is in sentry range, so it may get dewarded soon. But Root Gaming have numbers and numbers nearby.
We'll have to see. I'm really curious as far as both teams have some great sustain, great heal power, and great overall team fight. Which team is going to really get the upper hand? It might just have to come down to execution, and who's going to get the jump, lead things up, whether it's Trout. Oh, he jumps. Look at that one. Long one to go under Shredder. Sumail sees him, scouts him out, and takes him off. Just a quick hit-and-run job. Nowhere is safe if Sumail is present. Holy moly, what a great grab on Faceless Void.
Well, dead giveaway that's warded, but it's well worth it. You don't mind that ward getting de-warded now after that kill, and they actually poked their head into the Roshan pit with that DD rune. Very doable, unless Leviathans bring numbers now, maybe even buy back the Void, who does have the money for the buyback, but probably not thinking he wants to use it, considering he's so close to the BKB. He was 60 gold short. If he actually just killed off this last little lizard here, he had his BKB. Could have bought it.
Heartbreaker. So they move into the pit.
No
see how much damage they can do. It's taking a little bit of extra muscle power, but now with Yawar getting involved, certainly will help out. And obviously Leviathan pinged me about, they know this is happening. They see it now. Storm Spirit now has this Aegis. He's already been a tirade before. Now it's even going to be more scary. We'll see what Leviathan's answer is going to be now seeing that.
And I think for Leviathans, it's let's fall back, play this kind of efficient farming style, get Tiny as next big item, and if they ever go for a push, you look to counter push the other side lanes. You have that threat of a Tiny with an Ag Scepter.
It's so good.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you can be ahead 10, 15, 20k gold if you're Root Gaming, but you still are scared of the Wisp Tiny.
If you give Wisp and Tiny like 15 seconds in your base, you will not have a Rax. It just goes down so damn quick. If he throws together an Assault Curios on top of the Agnims he's already got, then say goodbye to your structures. And they can make quick work. I mean, there's cheeky plays to be able to break the backdoor protection by getting a creep tossed into the side lane, but I don't know if that's something they're going to dig for.
This looks bad for Leviathan. Storm scouting out both squishy supports. Can definitely kill at least one. Has an Orchid here.
That's such a juicy kill on that ball. I want it. Sumail wants it. Oh, come here, you. He's going to scout it out right now.
Surprised he hasn't gone for it just yet. I guess worried maybe about like a...
Oh, he wants mid lane. Look at that Doom. Okay. I want that Doom now.
Sees the Ag Scepter, and we'll have Wisp walk right into him maybe in a second here.
Pop now.
Maybe
he wants a little bit of extra help here, it looks like. They're going to have Trout nearby. Does have his blink, but Leviathan, very scared player.
Free tier 2.
Yeah, they go right back into their team.
Uawa has picked up a Reba, so he's going to be going for that harder Trask build, which is less common, but so much HP and survivability, and against Doom it does help quite a lot.
He's a big boy. We'll see here. Leviathan have already put themselves into their own base here. Root Gaming just kind of have control of the whole map, while at least they have this Aegis. They push down that tier 2. They'll step back, farm a bit, and I imagine they will just go for another push, maybe bottom or top as far as finishing out the secondary tier 2. But it's their game right now. They have a nice lead, or 5K of net worth towards Root Gaming's favor in this one. And mind you, this is just game number 1 of a best of 3. Winner staying alive here at Starladder Season 11. The loser, you're done. Gotta go. No more Starladder for you.
Do or die time. Shredder's picked up his BKB now on the Void, but teamfighting's still very tricky. You're not killing someone like a Razor, who's the main frontliner for Root. He's just going to always be on the front line. If they go for a push, he's sieging your high ground. These are relocate. They actually do want to go for Yawara, and maybe they can kill him with this rotation in. They're holding on to the Chronosphere for now. May just need to use it. Tie, 4-star. Ravage catches through. They blow up the Wisp. That means there's no relocate out. Shredder's still holding on to the Chronosphere. Probably should just use it for the Razor.
Oh, mid lane also. Sumail is dancing with Jenkins, making sure he does not get there easy. Pulls him in. He's trying to TP out, but he got him. Nice solo pick right there for Sumail while stuff continues to break out on the bottom. Shredder now left behind. He's got to be forced to time walk up and above to get away from this one. Yawar being continuously healed about from, oh boy, look who just showed up.
Regen Root.
Man, oh man, Sumail, triple kill. He cleans out another. Tossing him up though is Shivy.
It's going to be 5.
And he's, he's going to come back quick. Vortex pull.
Oh, nice stomp. Elder Titan.
Got it. Ultra kill.
And he's going to buy his Lincoln Sphere. Yep, gets his Lincoln Sphere from the enemy shop. Wisp is like, I can probably die in my own fountain here.
Don't do it. Don't
He's
do
going.
it.
Sumail.
Give me that rampage, please. Give it to me, baby.
He's so dead.
Oh, got it. No worth.
Ooh.
Much worth right there. It's not even going to say
that is no value whatsoever, but Playmaker points, efficiency points, no, but like that's a play. Like that's a Jimmy play.
I don't know what you were like. From my point of view, this kid just comes out of nowhere like a bat out of hell to just get right in on the action. He just took out Doom in the mid lane, and then he shows up.
Yeah, he had a regen rune. He finally found the magic regen rune.
He just had an invis rune. How does this kid get all these runes?
Man, I don't know.
Unbelievable.
He used all his mana to kill the Doom as well. So I'm like, I see him zipping halfway across the map bottom lane. I'm like, how the fuck is he doing that? Like, this guy's just making mana out of nothing. He's got like Secret Keeper of the Lights just spamming Shaka on him. I don't know what's going on here, but blink in, Doom looking for a Doom, not going to find anything, and whew. End of the day, like, the big gold boost went Wisp's way. Like, Wisp ended the streak, was the only one who got XP. It's a level 13 Wisp. I'm pretty sure it's like the highest die level hero, apart from the Void. But not much Wisp can do from this. Can buy a mech soon. That's not a game changer.
Yeah. It's devastating if you're a Root or if you're a Leviathan fan, you see that. It looks like an exhibition right now being put on from Sumail. Is that a Doom?
Yeah.
Bottom lane, they throw it out on Trout.
Defensive Doom.
They just take out Skywrath immediately. Sumail already back, finds another kill for himself, now advancing forward into a very, very impressive 15-5 record. And boy, oh boy. And also, mind you, everything got so hot and heavy and exciting. To lead off that fight on the bottom lane, Trout had to commit a full-range blink plus his Force Staff to show up with that Ravage to kill out Wisp. Otherwise, they would have just pieced out. So props to Trout on that setup.
I don't know what Shredder was waiting for. I think he should have just solo Chronosphered the Razor to get the kill, and then you back off. Once the Razor's dead, yeah, there's maybe a Storm who counter-kills one of your heroes, but you at least get an even trade. Not using the Chronosphere costs them dearly. So we'll see how things progress from here. Leviathans down, well, about 13,000 net worth. Experience just as bad, and things looking pretty grim for them here in game 1 of this best of 3.
Let's see here. I need to dig deep. I mean, there's always the comeback factor. I've seen it a lot of times, including a certain Ush that have made a big turnaround play, just marching down one of the lanes and going right for tier 4s in the throne. The siege power that Tiny can possess here, but that seems pretty far-fetched in this kind of a game, but we'll hold out. Leviathan looking for a good bounce back kind of a play right now. Roche has got more time before it will be up and at the ready here. Both teams could be considering a stall out period till then. I'm sure, especially for Leviathan, they don't want any solo farmers. They want that buddy system in play, especially when you got Storm Spirits zipping and zapping all over the place. You don't want anyone to be left behind.
Yep. And right now, Root say, look, we pulled ahead, decent margin. Let's just sit back, farm the map. Look at their vision right now. They've got 4 Observer Wards scattered through the enemy jungle, the enemy secret shop, near the Roshan pit. They see almost everything. They can farm. very safely all over. They've got just such tanky, durable heroes. Like your Razor can just kind of solo push this top lane. Does have supports behind him, but even without them, Leviathans are going to be second-guessing going on him because of how tanky he is with the Heart of Tarrasque.
Here we go. Looks like a trade. Top tier 2 is going to drop. Root Gaming. Keep on moving forward here. Not Sumail. He's trying to find kills elsewhere. Not going to be so lucky this time. He does manage to TP all the way back home. Man, after a brief scuttle, almost took down Wisp.
He's just always looking to make plays. Like the Bolt Lightning TP kill, the Rampage. This guy is like Demon Dota 2.0. He's taking the Jimmy plays to the next level.
Dewar, though, going to get caught out bottom lane. Mystic Flare, Chronosphere, but they need that heart soaking in a lot of damage, but not enough. He will end up dropping, but Jenkins going to get caught out. Sumail moving forward. Will take him down. Now Shredder pops his BKB. He's trying to right-click down the Storm Spirit. Gets a nice bash, but here comes Shibby. Oh, the Ravage going to step him back. He turns on Nushim. Can't quite get him, but he's already gone. But before he goes, a parting gift. A nice little toss is going to finish him off.
And I don't think they're getting Shredder as well. He's got a Time Walk now, goes north, and the chase is not really there with the Mask of Madness. Tide Trout couldn't really decide, do I chase the Void? Do I just ravage the two Wisp Tiny heroes? And he went for the Wisp Tiny, doesn't kill him, and then also the Void lives. He could have chased on the Void. It was a tough call to make. He wanted to save the Storm, but oh, tough times. Tough times. That's not, I wouldn't say the start of a comeback, but it's a nice fight nonetheless for Leviathans.
Definitely the best fight they've had in quite a while, but here we go. Trout and Viz scouting out Shredder here.
Okay.
Might not be able to do it on his own.
May wait for a time. Oh, he's popped the Mask of Madness. This could be it.
There's a Wisp nearby who's already tethered up to him.
Yeah. Needs backup, unfortunately, it looks like. And Wisp is even healing him up, so. Looks like.
Oh, but hey, look, it's a Tiny. Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, no Ravage, unfortunately. And Trout maybe just going to finish up his refresher before he decides to do anything too out there.
So Root Gaming, I mean, you can just tell by the body language of how they're playing, very confident, almost cocky. They're going for those big kind of side plays here, but not getting too aggressive with trying to push down these lanes. They're waiting for that window of opportunity where they can just kind of secure the game for themselves at game number 1. Razor throwing together that AC certainly would help, not only for himself and that extra bit of armor and durability, adding that to his allies, taking that away from his enemies, and then overall the pushing power just gets that much more potent. So, looking pretty good here. Root just continue to farm on up, and I imagine at this pace, it's going to be their game. Leviathan need to really consider what their next game plan is going to be.
Just about 600 away from that refresher on the Tide Hunter, and like this gives them that freedom to throw that first Ravage on someone, just like a solo Tiny Wisp, and still have the second Ravage for any kind of ensuing fights. Or even you throw a Ravage when you go for like a solo kill in the Void, and if there's a relocate in, you refresh, you have the second Ravage ready. So we'll see Leviathans try to sneak themselves a Roshan here. This would be a big pickup if they can get it. And so far, no response from Root Gaming. They are in the neighborhood though.
Elder Titan not quite close enough to really scout it out with an Astral, unfortunately. He's busy elsewhere with mid lane, and well, the damage is okay. They now have Roche down to half life here, but
one Stomp coming in
so
soon.
Close.
As soon as they scout this, there will be a response from Root, but it may be too late. Needs BKBs just to dodge the Stomp.
Sumail might have something to say about it. He could zip in. There he goes, jumping on forward, wants to be able to burst him down. Dire gets it, and the Aegis is going to be picked up from Leviathan, and they immediately turn back and take down Sumail. Now Trout is trying to just hold anyone in the pit as he can. No Ravage expended quite yet, but a very nice stomp coming out right there from your boy JC. He tries to escape the other way. Jenkins, before he does get taken down, will get out that doomed your boy JC. Doomed up, stays, plants his ground, and creates space for Trout to make his way out, but it's a 2-for-1 trade. Make that a 3-for-1. They find another kill there, but Yawar looking to fight back. Faceless Void, time walks out. Nushim, can he tether? Yes, he can. The ball zips his way across the river, and
Leviathans aren't done though. They've got a 4v2 here. They're going to go back in and take this fight, I'm pretty sure. That is not the Ravage you're looking for if you're Trout. Void can easily just start the fight. He has got the Aegis here, so he doesn't have to worry about dying. They just want to focus down the Razor first. Can they get him? Doesn't look like it. Mjolnir damage is nice, and Trout should be the kill. Tossed up and brought down. Razor just wants to get the hell out of here now. He's the lone man standing, and it's going to get chased down for days. Toss someone in if you can. Toss in the Void or something.
They're trying to get vision. He's hiding in the trees in the shadows. Oh, nope, not that way. Oh, the big toss right
He's
there.
He's got another Eye of the Storm, though.
Forces him back.
Void's like, that's not happening. Heart of Tarrasque, HP regen, too much. Now a DD rune even. Chase is over, boys. Let's get back and heal. That was so well played by the Void at the Roshan pit. Knowing he had to BK... if Roshan was higher HP, he wouldn't have BKB. But he's like, look, I just have to dodge this Echo Storm from Elder Titan, and then we secure Roshan. He even Chronosphered so the Storm couldn't steal, and they killed the Storm on top of that.
Yeah.
Because Storm was like, I want to make a play. I'm going to get this Aegis steal, or at least do something. But Void was ready for it. Void made up for all his kind of missed Chronos earlier in the game with that play there.
Very well done from Shredder right there, and allows Leviathan to kind of breathe new life in this game after what looked like a clinic put on by Root Gaming in the mid game here. This is now all along jump in from Sumail. I say it in 1 second, and he's dead. Just like from my side, I am always have eyes on this Storm Spirit because there is just any moment with these aggressive wards, if he just gets a glimpse of a weak support, a precious little rotisserie chicken Birdman, he'll just zip right in there and take him apart.
17 kills, but it does come with 7 deaths. Maybe a bit of over-aggression from time to time, but like normally you'd see a Storm maybe be like 9-2 or 9-1 right now, but the 7 deaths does add up, and that's something where the kills look nice and flashy, but he's died a lot this game. Void now working on a Daedalus to go with his item set, and just wants that pure single target damage when you can catch a Storm or someone like the Razor. The Razor's honestly the biggest problem. You can't even kill him in a Chronosphere because of how tanky he is, but this Daedalus could change that.
And what about for Tiny here? Do you think Shibby's going to be throwing together a BKB on his Tiny, or is he going to look to
I don't think so.
Manta style?
He needs... I mean, we'll go BKB. I'm surprised just because... I guess against the double Ravage, but not going to help at all against the Razor. I guess Void's the answer to the Razor, and then you just need a BKB Tiny to fight the Tide, the Tide as well as the Storm Spirit, the Elder Titan to a lesser extent. So we'll see how things go from here.
2 minutes to go before this Aegis will expire, so Leviathan... shot clock, I guess, winding down. It's their ball. They want to go for a big play here. As they kind of dance around this mid lane. It's Root Gaming that have kind of overtaken their jungle and are just planting themselves there, weighing it about for now. Tidehunter's Ravage is back up and ready. This time he's got a Refresher Orb to go alongside of it. So you got double Ravage coming out right here. So we'll see if Leviathan with those BKBs can get everything well timed and survive the Root Gaming onslaught.
Yeah, I mean, Leviathan's still well in this game after a few misplays from Root Gaming. It does feel like this game a lot closer than maybe the net worth suggests, and the Wisp Tiny factor always going to be in the back of everyone's mind. People have seen what this combo can do if they just get in the enemy base. Those two heroes alone will push faster than this 5-man Root Gaming squad.
Absolutely.
So Root have to constantly worry about the creep equilibrium.
These two teams always have very close games. This is like it's a shame that they're not more popular because they just really have they have 5 matches they've already played against each other in recent history, with Leviathan getting the best of them 3-2, and that goes through Starladder as well as the Summit. And they always seem to kind of find each other along the way, and it's always a very, very close series.
What you're saying is people need to go follow these guys.
Absolutely.
Give them some Twitter support. Give them some feedback.
Maybe they have a lot to grow and learn, and the technicality of their game could improve, but they show a lot of passion, a lot of tenacity, and overall just a lot of entertainment.
Shredder now close to that Daedalus in the mid lane. He's still holding on to the Aegis, and that's where Root Gaming have really just stepped back. They say, look, we're not going to make any fights, take any chances here. We'll give up this tier 2 tower. Void's Aegis about to expire in about 10 seconds time. So the tier 2 goes down, and now probably I'd say Root Gaming ready to maybe take some fights here or there. Problem is, more BKBs are coming up. Doom going to be working on one as well, and this is where these double Tide Ravages will get less effective. Not to mention, this is like 10-second BKBs. Void's is on 8 still, which is pretty long. Tiny's is on 10. Doom's will be on 10. Normally you get to 40 minutes in and you have a Tide with a Refresher ulti. It's pretty good because people have 6-7 second BKBs, but not the case with Leviathans.
So if you're a core Razor in this game and you're seeing Leviathan start charging towards your base here, and you got 3,200 gold, obviously you might need to reserve a bit of that for buyback, but is there an item investment he needs to consider to really bounce back in this one?
Probably the Refresher Orb, I want to say. I don't think what else can match up decently here. Void faking some Time Walks, looking for a chrono opportunity. Actually, Storm going to go zipping in, and Ravage clips him. Second Ravage going to be coming out as well. They get 1 kill on the Time to start things off. Void Chronosphere, he whiffs it.
No.
Ooh.
Not what you want right there on the low ground. They're able
Game
to take
over.
down Jenkins, and that's not the fight you want. Mushum is going to be welcomed with a very, very bad That is small saving right there. Okay, Jenkins starting, all right? Okay, so he does go down. But, yeah, so what went wrong? A nice lead in from Trouf, gets a nice Ravage. The timing wasn't there, unfortunately, for Shredder. He gets caught with that Ravage before his BKB does go off, and it allows a few licks in from Sumail, who then turns his sights onto Shibby. And they just blow up the Tiny.
Void just needs to jump.
He didn't even get his BKB off either.
Yeah, he had a 2-hero Chronosphere available to him, but he's like, I don't want to Chronosphere these 2 supports, and so much comes down to the execution and who jumps on who, because they have 2 ultimates which can prevent Tide getting off a single Ravage, the Chronosphere as well as the Doom. They get either of those on the Tide before Ravage, well, Root Gaming are suddenly fighting without Refresher Ravage, and things look really good for Leviathans, but he got both Ravages off. Void got clipped on the very edge of it on that high ground cliff, and that was really the end of that fight for Leviathans.
So now, Root Gaming knocking at the front door, jumping on past Sumail, wants to get a hold of Shredder, and again can't get the BKB off. And he will go down immediately. Now, so will their racks. They grab them on both.
One last hurrah, perhaps, here. They're going to look to force that buyback. Maybe going to see an instant retreat from Root once the buyback happens, but yeah, no Ravages, Chronosphere up in 15. They're actually not even going to force the buyback just yet, but I imagine... Oh, top lane, where's Tiny? This is not what you want to be seeing on the other side of the map. They're going to get Raxes. Who's got TPs?
Raxes are going to be down. This hero, man.
No TPs on anyone. And Tiny gets left behind. Does have a TP scroll to get back to base. He could even swing. Oh, he can't
has
swing.
A buyback, too. He could always just go right for it, die in the fountain, and come back. But no, he's going to TP back instead.
Unfortunately, can't get another lane because Tier 2 towers are still up. This Tier 2 tower just saved Root Gaming possibly another Rax.
Oh, boy,
Wisp.
Oh, boy.
Wisp, Tiny. Jesus Christ. This is what a combo.
Well, if they could put up a formidable defense here, you really never know.
Void hasn't even had to buy back yet. He's still got it, and this could catch Root by surprise if they're not careful.
Uh-oh. Well, don't get overzealous here. You're going to quickly run out of mana.
Very aggressive.
Oh, they do take down Skywrath Mage, but here we go. Shibby pops his BKB, and he is hammering down Storm Spirit. But now, unfortunately, he walks a little too far. It doesn't matter, though. They're able to clean up and take out the Abaddon. Now it's Leviathan defending their homeland, pushing out Root Gaming, and yeah, that Ravage is trying to zone them back, but your boy JC going to fall quickly thereafter.
Get more.
Noir is doomed up here, left behind. They scout him out right now, and they could catch up with a nice little toss setup.
Buyback too. Yawar is going to be so careful. No TP and no buyback. The 4-staff from the Tide going to help him out a little bit, but he walks into the Tiny. This is a disaster. This could just be GG.
Oh,
without a buyback.
Goodness.
Storm's got a low respawn thanks to the Bloodstone, and Storm will have a buyback just barely, I want to say. Yeah, Storm's got buyback when he respawns, but no Razor for 80. Oh, dear.
Very big. Trout Refresher is actually just coming off cooldown, so he can dish out one Ravage. He might do it right here. He goes right in the middle of him and lands a huge Ravage, but Sumail has no mana to really work with here. So he's trying to make the best of it. Trout as well, just trying to space them back. They're not going to get any kills, but it's actually more than enough to force Leviathan.
Whisper's going to heal everyone back up, though. That's the main worry here. They can re-engage. Chronosphere not up for a while. He just BKBs and turns Sumail out of money. He's going to be very careful here. And in from the back comes the Wisp. That is not where you want to be, Nusham.
Nusham, tether out from here, buddy. He's trying to get a hold of someone, but now he's silenced up.
Ooh, he's still alive, and Sumail's out of mana here. This is a big worry for him, because Chronosphere is coming up very shortly, 10 seconds away. Sumail will get locked down. Ooh, Shredder. He wants to get a kill here to start things off, but it's going to get turned around. Oh, no.
Jenkins drops his...
Didn't even have to buy back on the Storm. They just outmaneuvered them that fight. What are you doing, Wiz Tiny? What are you doing?
They're thinking about coming in from behind. Oh, no stun going to catch right there. They're trying to kite the two out. Joik is going to get bursted down with the cleave damage right there. Toss! Oh, they are so low. They are running from this behemoth and trying to get Wisp instead, and they know they can't stand up to him, but they can certainly kite him here.
Craggy, he needs the Craggy, and he's going to get it!
Slams and gets down. Sumail now turns his sight. Oh, there's Yules, but it's blown up. Earth Splitter.
You take that if you're Root. You take that. The Storm for the team wipe. Okay.
Holy moly.
Let's see what our recap says. It says it's a big victory for Root Gaming. 5-for-2 trade. 3.8k gold swing. Why the hell not?
That could have gone a lot better, certainly, if Sumail had just a bit more mana to work with. He must have made a huge leap from base, because it looked like by the time he was actually in the battle...
The initial jump on the Tiny at the Tier 2 tower was what really cost his mana pool, but I think it could have gone much better for Leviathans. Wisp was, like, off around the top lane. If he was there when Tiny got jumped and had the overcharge on him and was healing him up with mech, he never tethered anyone the entire fight. He couldn't get a tether off, couldn't use the overcharge, couldn't mech or bottle heal either the Void or the Tiny. Just needed that heal from the Wisp, and things would have gone fine. Neither got it. So a bit of just... I think they just got way too cocky because Razor was dead, and they're like, look, Razor's dead 80 seconds, doesn't buy back. We've maybe got this, but not the case.
Awkward positioning.
This is not work. This is Chronosphere Doom both online.
They're some good damage to back it up.
They have vision of Leviathans. This is not the fastest Roche.
I think they'll be fine. Leviathan are blitzing with even a smoke to give the extra bit of move speed towards the Roche area right now, but a regen has been activated. Sumail, let's see if he can hold it here for potential Tift. They know they don't want to kind of risk it. Roche is brought down to half-life, and they just immediately pull out. Maybe they bait the Roche here, scouting it out with this Astral Illusion. Sumail, going with the last bit of his regen.
Greta wants to commit to this one. Doom TP's in as well. Looks like Sumail trying to hide his position. Comes out on the raise, a nice Ravage! There's no refresher, but it's not needed. Void and Doom both instantly die. This is looking bad for Leviathans. No buybacks coming into play just yet. Yua's doomed up. He's trying to be focused down by the Tiny. Tiny's still cleaving away. Yua still doomed up, but it's a disaster in the Roshan pit. Full 5-man wipe. Elder Titan fought back, but hey, they get an Aegis, they get a cheese, and I think they may just go down the mid lane. Buyback status, not looking good for Leviathans.
Drop their Void Stone up on the high ground. You need to go back and grab it. The cliff next
to the Storms?
I guess, I don't know why he needed it. He had 2 slots. I guess maybe he was...
Aegis and cheese.
Yeah, he wanted to get both of them, so that greedy boy.
No,
now Sumail, they strut down this mid lane, and with all 5 dead with no buyback.
Only Tiny can buy back. It's over.
Might as well just give it a go, but nope, they're just going to go ahead and throw in the towel. But I have to say, Leviathan almost made a big comeback, kind of an effort right there. Root Gaming, though, after a very successful mid-game display coming out from Sumail on that Storm Spirit, just allowed them to get a nice, good couple of fights there at the end, and really there was just not much Leviathan could do about it. You could question the positioning there in that fight in the mid lane area, but I don't know, man. Very close game.
Entertainment at its finest. Sumail definitely delivering a bit of a showdown as Storm Spirit. Can see why he says it's his best hero. He goes for the flashy plays. He really turns himself into a star, for better or for worse with this team. Like, I feel like this is the make or break player. He's going to go for the plays always, and when it works, it works. When it doesn't, they kind of collapse around him. In this game, it just barely worked.
Yeah, easiest Storm Spirit respect ban I've ever seen. So I'm expecting that in game number 2 here. Leviathan not out yet, though. They have a chance to come back and take it to a game number 3, but it's going to be Root Gaming that are on match point and looking to push on forward into the playoffs here for Starladder Season 11 Americas.